Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we're shining a spotlight on a local gem, Dynasty Epoxy. They are Kentuckiana's leading epoxy flooring specialist. They transform any of your spaces into stunning masterpieces. Whether it's your garage, basement, or any other living space, they've got you covered. They've been perfecting their craft for over a decade, and with more than 30 years of combined experience on their team, with twin owners Seth and Phil, not only will you receive exceptional service, but you will also receive double the quality. For your free on-site quote, call 502-264-8808. Dynasty Epoxy. Skip the headache. Call the best.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, yeah. You know we drinking some PC tonight. Welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. We are at the Brock Bourbon Bar.
Oh, you almost failed that one.
I almost did.
Brocken Bar?
The Brock Bourbon Bar, whatever. I don't eat Birkin.
I actually...
I'm like the Swedish chef from the Muppets.
Hey, well, the funny thing is that one of my techs put up a, the thing from Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It says it's Brocken time.
It is Brocken time. Anyway, oh my God, the nose.
Shout out to the
this.
Brocks, though.
Oh.
Shout out to the Brocks for this lovely PC.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Nick and Barbara.
I'm about to nose fuck this bottle. All right.
I feel like I should just smack it. Well, I don't want to smack it out of his hand, but damn, clank that bitch. Sorry. What were you saying, Nick?
Well, I'm about to say, this is, what batch is this?
So this is President's Choice. This is batch number 26. This was aged 8 summers in a barrel.
And then you should have the months on the back.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It is.
It's at least a 1.
102 months. And it is 55.5 ABV, which makes it 111 proof.
Yep.
This is really going to suck after somebody decided to eat some hot sauce.
I can't help
I'm
that
still
one.
hurting.
There's something wrong with you guys. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to give good, solid, tasting notes
I
here.
will.
But
I'll be fine on this one.
Do I ever give good, solid tasting notes, though?
I mean, every now and then you throw some nugget out there that I'm like,
barbecue
wow,
sauce
look at Jared. He's
Mesquite.
growing up and shit.
You know. Morgan thought I grew up when we had a son,
It-
and
it-
I just
It's
flew out
not
the
the
window.
it's not the
Holy
Johnny Tsunami
shit.
diet.
No,
Don't put it back.
Don't put it
Whoa.
back.
Oh my
Here.
God! John may have accidentally. I don't know if it was accident.
Here, pour it in an
the
empty
size
glass.
of my
yeah.
glass
Yeah.
was like
That's
double
a
the
lot.
normal Glencairn.
Give some to
My bad.
Kofi. You want some of this shit?
So
Yeah, here.
So that
Here,
being-
Kofi, like
yeah.
There, that's...
Everybody's got. You can
Sharing's
probably pour a
caring.
little bit in one of those other glasses too.
That's
off
all
of-
right. We're
off
good
of
on that
Johnny.
one. Yeah.
Anyway, so this
No, we're
is
good.
This is the President's Choice batch 26. Is that what I said?
Yes, batch 26.
So
fucking
111.
tits,
Oh my
dude.
dude, the nose on this thing. That's what I said, dude. My
It's-
nose already. Wow.
it's all the great things about OFO 100 and OFO 1910, but just darker, richer, better.
It's like that deep, dark brown sugar, and you also have that rich caramel
100%.
taste smell in it. This is just
Taste?
nose. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Did you smell it with your nose?
Yeah, I smelled it with my nose.
Scott's over here got it
Dude,
nose deep.
dude, you have no idea. I've got in my entire face in this glass.
Stop getting it chubby off this thing,
you-
okay?
no.
Scott's
Listen.
sniffing the gooch
You are
over
not
here.
lying. So anyway, baking spice. It's got a little bit of banana. It's got a lot of really, really rich fruit forward notes. I mean,
Bit of vanilla in there,
it's
too.
got some vanilla. It's got some caramel. The legs on this thing is unbelievable. I mean, there's strands coming off of it.
Like a
literally
hooker on
just
Saturday night.
You are not lying.
I know we disagreed on this before, but I still get that fresh cracked walnut type on the nose.
Listen, I'm not going to disagree on that. I'm getting nuttiness. I don't know that it's walnut. I don't know that it's that dark and rich, but you might be very well right. I'll let Nick dive in because Nick's usually a little bit better on picking up nutty notes than I am. But
I think
that
as
being
rich
said-
as it is, that's why I'm going with the big dog.
I think the sweetness is overriding any type of nuttiness that's sitting out there. Now, to kind of educate the users, do any of you fellas here on the podcast know why it's called President's Choice and what that process is involved is?
Pretty sure I do, but I'll let somebody delegate if they want to.
No fucking I can.
No idea.
No, it's out of my price range to know.
I know probably Scott knows. So
Isn't it picked by the president of Brown Forman?
So
Something along that?
yes,
Sort of, kind of.
yes. So what happens
I
is
was along those lines.
because this was during the time of Jackie Zykam.
Right.
So she was the master taster for Old Forester at the time. She's no longer there.
Right.
But at the time, and what happens is that she will usually pull somewhere between 6 to 8 barrels and say these are above and beyond the best ones. And then she will take those as possible President's Choice selections. And then she will send those samples to the president of Brown-Forman.
So there's actually a step in between.
Oh, there's okay. I missed the one
They
step.
take them to the actual master distiller first. So
okay, I missed that. So
Jackie will taste them, say, "Hey, these are our elite barrels." Then they will send them to either whether it be Chris Morris or whoever they choose that's a master like distiller
within
Brown-Forman. They will then taste through them, and they will pick another section of those and say, "Hey, these are the best 4 out of those 6," and then they will give them to Campbell or whichever one of the Browns that picked them, and then they will pick their favorite from those.
So 2 cents just based off of that. Why would you go master taster to then master distiller, not master distiller to master taster? So, this is just stupid logic coming in my brain.
So I think master distillers, although they're not master tasters, they definitely know what flavor profile they want to exemplify when they are distilling something, right? Like they know what flavor profile they want to put forward as that brand or label, right? The master taster just says, this shit's all fantastic. Like these are fucking glamorous, like this is the bee's knees. This is
baby.
These are titties. Like they're perfect, right? Like they're titties.
So the other thing the master taster does is that, if you look at those cards or those descriptions of like nose, taste, finish, they're the ones that line out all of the flavors that happen. And you have to understand is that like Brown-Forman is one of the few places that actually have master tasters. There's a lot of those little places such as like Limestone, Wilderness Trail. They really don't have master tasters. They just have master distillers making their decisions on exactly what gets released.
Right.
Okay. Are these single barrels or are they a blended?
100%
single barrels.
Okay. So these are the elite of the elite. And this is the 26th iteration of the President's Choice. So that being said, dive in. Wait. What?
So the barrel number 26 means it is the 26th iteration?
It's the 26th iteration.
I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah, it's the 26th release. It's not the 26th barrel.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
if it was the 26th barrel that Old Forester had distilled, this would be like fucking 130-year-old distillate.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. Well, I was thinking like a serial number or whatever has like 80 blah, 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 and
26
26 or something like that. I assumed it was
No.
Or the 26th barrel they distilled this year.
This is the 26th iteration.
So think of this is choice number 6 that the president chose to be a president's choice.
Gotcha.
Think of it that way.
They only release what?
Well, usually it varies.
There's multiple years.
Is there?
There's
they just released 44 through 46 or something like that.
They released relatively recently. So if people are listening to this podcast, they would understand it if they're local. But they just recently released online only batch 42, 44, and 46. I was actually very lucky. I got batch 46. I did get that.
So my next question is, when was this bottle originally? When did this bottle originally come out?
It doesn't actually say.
It doesn't actually say. I'm going to say 26 probably came out maybe in 2021, 2022.
21, 22, somewhere in that ballpark.
Probably, I'd say late 21, early 22.
Damn.
Be my guess.
Okay. So in my math brain, I'm thinking 26 versus 46 just came out. That's almost half the time ago.
Yeah.
But,
so I mean, they reintroduced President's Choice. I guess was at the beginning of 21.
No. It's actually been going for a little bit. I actually looked it up the other day. The first President's Choice came out in 2013 or 2014.
Did it really come out that long?
But they were only doing 1 or 2 releases a year.
They were doing 1 or 2 a year. You're right, because the first one came out the year that they opened the Old Forester on Main Street.
Yes,
that's right. Batch 2 came out the following fall.
Yep.
And then it kind of like they were doing basically, like you said, 1 or 2 a year. And then all of a sudden when COVID hit, they didn't do any except for I think at the end of 2020. And then it was like boom, 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 boom. Like they were like dropping left and right. And a lot of these are like low yields. Like they're kind of like the high angel shares. Like they're like,
Well, the high angel shares can be are we assume are batched.
Right, but what I'm saying is these were barrels that they found that were unique, that were tasty, that they really thought were great.
Shoulders above everybody else.
But they also were like lower yields, like they didn't have a ton of yield to them. So That being said, dive in. What do we got?
You get a little cookie dough on the nose, like if you kind of just like waft it. Don't stick your nose in there, just kind of a little waft kind of thing going on.
I'm doing the drive-by.
A little doughiness, maybe.
I don't hate that description. I would equate that to I would equate that more to like it's got this like vanilla-y like thing, not really necessarily doughy.
Dough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on that. I'm more
I
on the
think
vanilla.
it's got a chewy tobacco, and that vanilla is kind of sitting underneath of that tobacco.
Johnny coming in with
There's
those deep pipes there for a second.
There's definitely a tobacco note on that nose.
And strangely enough, I'm getting a potpourri floral note to it as well.
All I know is the nose on this thing is fantastic.
It's everything you want it to be.
It's hard for me to get past the sweetness that's there. You know, the caramel, the vanilla, the and I actually call this dark brown sugar because there's a difference because that's heavy molasses going in deep with that. It's just that sweetness, and to me this is what I really enjoy in a bourbon. Getting that sweetness on the smell is so inviting.
This is one you take your time with. You don't slam this one.
John.
So that being said, like I took my first pull. The initial pull is definitely like it drinks to proof. Now I'm waiting to taste the second pull to see if it's at.
I ate hot sauce. So
Yeah, so
that's
my right. I get it.
The second, I've had two pulls. My second pull didn't drink to proof at all whatsoever.
So, yeah, and that's a possibility. It also could be what I've pre-gamed with. So,
and a couple of the things I'm getting on there is I'm getting like it's weird. It's I'm not trying to hit the high notes. I'm trying to find out those weird side notes because I mean, if you're hitting them, you're getting a little bit of leather, you're getting a little bit of the tobacco, you're getting that kind of caramel vanilla-y sweetness. I'm trying to find some of the other stuff, and I'm almost getting kind of like a subtle citrus note that's kind of hiding somewhere on the mid palate.
I don't hate that.
But there's a dark fruit in there while you're saying that. Like it's almost like a cherry-esque.
Are we talking about palate or are we talking about
on the palate?
Palate.
On the palate. Yeah, on the
just
palate.
clarifying.
Yeah, it's citrusy for sure, but there's like a weird like dark fruit that's tied in there, and I can't pinpoint it. I don't know if it's cherry or if it's.
I was actually. Let me pregame you here a little bit and just kind of suggest black cherry.
I don't hate that description. No, like I said, I can't pinpoint it. Like to me, it's not a tart cherry.
Yeah,
it's got some richness to it,
but the sweetness isn't coming from that fruity note.
The sweetness is
separate.
Yeah, the sweetness is coming from like those like tobacco-y notes. And there's just a hint of like leather in the finish, and some pepper spice. Like there's some like little bit of like white pepper on the back, the very very finish. Like right where the old uvula is, the old punching bag, the old I know Jared loves that. So
like a goddamn speed bag,
you
baby.
ain't lying. But man, this has got so much going on with it.
That's good, man.
The complexity that these PCs offer.
Have you taken a second sip?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to hit my third.
And what proof wise, what'd you think?
I mean, I still think it's drinking closer to proof. I mean, I think it's like in that 105 to 110 range would be my guess. And it's only because of the finish. The finish is strong. Like I feel like the finish is
the
very
most
pronounced.
Prominent
yes,
point
so
of
that's
the
the reason. But that's my point. Like that's the reason I think that it's drinking closer to proof is because of that finish. I'm used to drinking so many things that when you drink it, you get a little spice up front, you get a mid palate that gives you a little bit of heat sometimes, and then the finish just goes away.
Yeah,
like this, carries all the way through. Like it's got some nice spice up front. The mid palate's got all the fruit, all the dark sugars. It's got that molassesy baking spice, and then like the finish is just like boom. Like
I didn't
it's like
make
good.
this connection, but since we're in the Lenten season still, I'm getting a hot cross bun. It's bringing a memory of that
like the
hot
song.
Cross,
Hot
no,
cross buns, hot cross
the Catholic bakery treat.
Yep.
With the hot cross buns, when it's got a little bit of that breadiness that you were talking about earlier, Jared, but it's got kind of a fruity, like just lingering sweetness.
I'm not sure I've had enough of those.
I mean, I'm
Quit
getting
yawning.
Is there
kind
a
of this-
cinnamon? Is there a cinnamon in?
They do have
They
spice.
have cinnamon in them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
sounds like
I
a
can
little-
equate the sweetness like whenever you bite into it. I'm not getting much of the breadiness, but if the sweetness that can come from a hot cross bun, I see
Sure.
where you're coming at from that.
Yeah.
Kind of that vanilla topping sweetness with a little hint of spice inside the bread.
Do we see that score over there? Sorry.
We do see it.
That
Yeah.
is with 54 seconds left. 71-64. Just
You
FYI.
turn off the games.
TV.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got to
Side note.
undistracto Jared over here. You got perfectly good whiskey in front of you, and you're worried about what some weird score on a basketball game.
I just keep going
Worried
back to the
about it.
nose on it. It gets better the more it opens up and the longer you let it.
I think the
Yeah.
vanilla note comes through a lot more.
I'm really trying to
on
get the
the nose.
aeration.
It's like
on
a
it.
cream soda. Do you think?
cream
Like that
soda.
that vanilla, just the on the nose now. It's like a vanilla cream.
I think
So I definitely get some vanilla-iness to it. I don't know that I get that cream soda-y / like root beery like sweetness that
it's
comes
not
through.
root beer.
No, but they're equated, right? Like when you think of like cream soda, root beer, like there's a certain like sweetness that comes off that smell, right?
Maybe think of that pump, like the coffee pump vanilla.
I don't even know that it's that. Like
pump vanilla. That's a weird
I'll
phrase.
I'll
to
pump
hear.
some vanilla.
I don't, John.
But say
I
for
don't
anybody
hate
who has
that.
coffee that like those little flavorings, that's what I'm talking
I don't
about.
hate that at all. The problem is there's so much more. There's a little bit of ethanol that I get with it, and there's a little bit of darkness that I get with it that it's hard to get to the cream soda. But I
Right.
don't hate the vanilla-y thought of a cream
Right.
soda
Yeah.
coming from it.
I'm kind of in agreement to you. There's so much ethanol, like that high alcohol-y, like
the same-
nose pungent punch that's there. Even though there's a lot of sweetness that come with it, and there's a lot of like spice, it's kind of hard to grab that cream soda-y type.
Quit yawning.
I know. Listen, I can't help it. Cream soda-y type.
He had too
piece.
much. He had too much.
You
can't
But
handle.
the funny thing is, the
can't handle
more I
truth.
sniff it, like I'm getting a little bit of like that tobacco-esque like
That's
smell.
what I got immediately. Yeah, it's a gentleman's drink. It is
100%.
It is something that you break open on those rare days where
I'm about to say
you've got your mates around.
I'm about to say, yeah. I'm about to say, the last time I finished, I had one other President's Choice that I opened, and I finished it with my brother brought a bunch of his firefighter friends over to the house, and they wanted to experience some bourbon drinking, and I had just enough left to fill all their glasses. So it was a good time.
Good for you. That's good. That's a good story. I like that.
Nick is anything but a gentleman and a scholar. He's a good dude. He likes to share whiskey.
He deals with all our dumbasses. So does his wife.
I was about to
God
say,
love
dude.
Bab.
I'm about to say,
God
no,
love
I
Babs.
was about to say,
I'm
I
about to
don't
say,
know that
don't
dealing with
explain it.
us as hard as dealing with his wife.
She's just more vocal about her annoyance of us than Nick is.
We love you, Barbara.
She's over.
We love you, Barbara.
She's over taking care of the peanut gallery.
She's kidnapped someone else.
Except for Kofi. Kofi's still sipping on some peanut whiskey.
I'll say Kofi hasn't taken a hit of that yet.
A Thai peanut salad. Never heard of that one before.
Thai nut salad.
Don't tie my don't.
Don't be tying my nuts.
Tie my
to
nuts.
I don't know. This is such a unique pour. It really is. I mean, that's one of the things I love about the PCs is that there's so much complexity.
What do these retail for?
Well, do you want to know what they start off or what they are currently?
It started out at $99.99.
I
I think
was
they're
gonna say.
$239.99 or $229.99.
$225 was the last one.
Retail?
Yeah,
Yeah,
retail.
retail.
God bless.
Yeah, the first batch
God.
one was $99.99.
The prior to the one that I just recently purchased, last time I purchased one was I had the ability to was like $189. So it's going up in price.
They're paying that president way too damn much money.
I'm about to say
I'm just kidding.
about everybody in this room has bought multiple bottles of Olfo recently. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've seen it on the secondary. People are asking 600 plus.
they're
like
going 750,
725 to
800.
1,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what iteration, they're
Now
north
locally,
of 1,000.
now 1,000 is for outside of the state because the one thing that is the issue outside of what just happened recently on the online part of things is that typically the President's Choice is at the distillery gift shop only release.
I feel like Carl poured too much of mine out because I'm empty.
You're just a heavy sipper.
All of you. How dare you accuse me
I'm about
of
to say I'm out.
heavy dipping?
I'm out.
100%. I'm 100% a heavy sipper. I will
Thanks,
agree with
buddy.
that. My God.
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
Sharing is caring. The bottle is right fucking there.
I mean, listen, that's Nick's
I
Brock.
don't wanna
We have
be
to
that guy to
respectful.
get
That's
the
right.
next-
you don't have
100%.
to.
You
bottle.
better put the lid on that before
have
it
to-
gets too much air to it. We don't want to get too much oxidation in
You
there.
don't have to dump the whole damn bottle in your glass.
Listen, we know how Johnny is. He
Well,
poured a
yeah.
half gallon the first time he poured a
I
glass.
did.
Well,
We
but-
poured
bottle
like
went from
3
full
glasses
to-
off of his
well,
glass.
yeah. Granted, I will give him the excuses that we were using different glasses this time that are twice as wide as a Glencairn.
By the way, the
Thank
best
you.
glasses
Yes.
you've brought out for us yet.
I think
wonder
these
whose
are
they
the,
are.
I think these are the Kentucky Bourbon
These-
Trail
this
official
is a glass
glasses.
that is worthy of President's Choice.
This is nice because it gives you all the smellability of a Glencairn, but all the lovely weight of a rocks glass. It's very fantastic.
It's like smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. You know what smell-o-vision is? When you throw the whiskey in your eyeballs.
Wow, that would hurt.
You know what else hurt? The fucking hot sauce.
I bet it does.
I'm
All
going back to the fact that it smells like a baked goods store.
Right.
Not that it's anything in particular now, but that it has that general aroma of a baking spice, a sweetness, just that permeates the room. It's good shit.
Scott's
Well,
got
I got
Two
an
on
empty.
empty glass.
Well, my glass has been empty for a little bit, and it's weirdly
delicious.
that
Baked
citrus,
goods.
baked goods, and citrus note come out
little
off the
bit-
dry
yeah,
glass.
100%.
a little bit of leather in
And
there.
I mean, I would expect
Leather,
like
tobacco.
well, I would assume that the leather and tobacco would be prominent, but it's not prominent in that. It's there, but it's not
100%.
prominent.
But look, you drank that, and look at the. I mean, there's still shit turning off that glass.
You better
Yes, there
drip a
is.
little bit out of there.
It's
FYI, but
extremely oily.
I thought that was just from the grease.
Is it
prints,
an
but
apricot kind of? Like,
Talk on, Mike.
Like, is it an apricot going towards like a very light orange, and then kind of bleeding into that apricot sweetness?
See, I'm getting a darker fruit than that, but
See, I'm not. I don't know what I'm looking for
No,
for a dark fruit.
I,
but I
don't
can't
hate what your
feel it.
description is, but I would put it closer to a plum than I would an apricot.
Okay.
If you're gonna dive into that family, into that like stone fruity, dark, like stony fruit like type thing, Jared.
You
I
just
know,
made
this
Jared
motherfucker, I know. God, I hate using that word whenever I'm on the mic with Jared. But
Hey,
that
Nick.
being said, I will tell you right there, that's where I would put that
Okay.
at. I would put it more closer into that plum family
I don't hate
than
that.
I would
I don't hate that
apricot or
description. Yeah.
or peach or any of those type of things. But
What's
that's just my opinion.
what's a stone fruit?
God, I knew you were going to say that.
It's been a minute since
It
we've
has-
heard that.
It really
so
has been. I'm
we
gonna
can't- we
I'm gonna
can't
let
hate
that
on
shit
him for it.
slide. All right. So 1 out of 10. What do we got? Rankings.
2.5.
2.5. All right. Good.
I'm just kidding.
Out of 10, probably about, it's between 8, 5, 9.
All right. Johnny.
9.3.
9 points. Man, Johnny really likes this. Jared.
I will go with a lovely 8.9.
8.9. I'm probably about it. I'm right there with you. Like
Oh my
8, 8, 9. I mean, I think that
Call me a savant.
it kind of does a bunch of things for you. There's still something. It's not quite King of Kentucky, right? Like it's
Yeah,
not
correct.
those crazy caramel notes. It's not the crazy like richness that you get from a King. But like I mean, this has a lot of the stuff that you want from.
It's
a solid pour.
relaxing.
Oh,
When you're drinking
100%.
it, you're just kind of chill and enjoying the moment, not in a big hurry.
Sipping on it.
Yeah.
So it was a fresh crack, as our lovely listeners heard.
Right.
I'd love to know
What this tastes like in a week.
Yeah, like a week or something.
Well,
like that.
we're gonna find out. I guarantee you.
revisit podcast.
Nick's not gonna like it, but we're gonna find out. I bet.
Stay tuned for part 2 of the President's Choice barrel number 26.
Because I guarantee it's
going
going to open up. It's going to get some complexity to it. It's probably going to get a little sweeter.
All
as
that
it-
shit's
as it
gonna
aerate. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. As it aerates,
develop.
it opens up. That's the reason I just kept swirling, because I
It's
wanted
delicious
to.
as
Yeah,
it is.
I wanted to get more air into it. Right, like there's something about like that aeration and the complexity that comes off that aeration piece.
Even the nose in an empty glass, it's so much stronger and more prolific than a lot of the other bourbons.
Nick, what else you got you want to open up? I'm just kidding.
He's got plenty. There's no doubt about it.
I would say most of the stuff that I have around here is open outside of probably about maybe just a handful of things that
A shit ton of Huber shit.
Huh?
Shit ton of Huber
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
You got a bunch of that stuff.
I'm about to say the couple things that I don't have open yet that I think are more milestone and things I'm just waiting on to celebrate. Because I don't have a problem with opening up anything that I have here that I have here, and most of you guys know this,
Right? No,
as being
100%.
We have benefited from
I tell
this
people
clause.
all the time that the Brocks are some of the most giving, like open people, to being able to sample and try stuff with.
But
For
say
sure.
a couple things that I have yet to open that I waiting for special occasions on is I have a Evan Williams 23, and I'm going to be opening that probably here in about 3 years, and that's going to be for my 23rd anniversary with my wife.
So you've been married for 18 years.
20.
20.
Your math is bad.
I know. I'm being an ass.
I know.
Let's see.
He's the CPA though.
No, that's the
I
problem.
mean, not technically a
He does-
CPA,
wait.
but that's
he
what
does
he does.
numbers.
Yeah, he
What
does
if-
numbers.
what if
You
she
talking about me? I
Yeah.
definitely am not a CPA.
What if she whacks you before you get to the 23 years?
Wax or whack?
Whack.
I thought about to say wax.
Pulls the
It
old-
sounded wax.
Pulls the old Italian guillotine on him.
What if Nick waxes it first?
He'd be the one to whack.
40-year-old
that booty,
40-year-old
wax the
virgin?
booty, freaky,
Virgin?
freaky, say the nice size booty.
Do the fuck what?
Anyway, that being said, that's our episode of Bourbon
What are we
Barrel
talking
Talk. You want to find it on Facebook, the Instagram, or
What's
the old
Facebook?
X, your mom. Or you can
What's
email us
the
any
X?
questions at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com.
What's gmail.com?
I'm going to kick Jared's ass when this episode is over. Hit the subscribe button, whether you're listening to Spotify, iTunes, or whatever your special
What are those things?
listening recollection is. This is Scott, Johnny Tsunami, Nick, and nobody else that matters. Peace.